Mom sided with my cheating ex and refused to let me stay at their house after the divorce. After 10 years they find out I'm engaged and suddenly they want to come back into my life. 5 years ago, my world came crashing down when I discovered that my partner of 8 years had been unfaithful. The betrayal stung, but what cut even deeper was my parents' reaction. Instead of supporting me during the worst time of my life, they took my ex's side. My parents, who had always adored my ex, couldn't seem to believe the truth. "You must have done something to push them away," they said. When I filed for divorce, they accused me of being selfish and destroying a perfect family. To add insult to injury, they allowed my ex to stay over at their house while shutting their door to me. It was as if I had lost not just my partner, but my family too. In the years following, I worked hard to rebuild my life. I moved to a new city, started therapy, and poured myself into my career. I made friends who became like family, and little by little, I learned to trust and love again. My parents never reached out, and honestly, I stopped expecting them to. Occasionally, I'd hear through mutual acquaintances that they still had dinner with my ex or spoke about how heartbroken they were over the divorce. It hurt, but I told myself I didn't need their approval or their presence in my life. Then, last month, they called out of the blue. I was startled to see my father's name flash on my phone screen after 5 years of silence. Hesitating, I picked up. "We heard you're engaged," he said, his voice uncharacteristically soft. My heart sank. Somehow, they'd found out about my fiancé, Michael, a wonderful man who treats me with the love and respect I always deserved. They congratulated me and then, to my astonishment, started reminiscing about old times. "We'd love to come visit and meet him," my mother said eagerly, as though the years of rejection had never happened. I felt a mix of anger and sadness. Where were they when I needed them? Why now, when my life is finally whole again, do they want to reappear? I calmly told them that I needed time to process their sudden re-entry into my life. It wasn't an outright rejection, but it wasn't an open invitation either. In the days that followed, I couldn't shake the feeling that their motives weren't pure, that they weren't interested in me, but in the version of my life that they could show off to others. For now, I'm keeping them at a distance. I've learned that boundaries are necessary, even with family. Maybe one day I'll forgive them, but trust? That will take much longer to rebuild, if it ever happens at all. For the first time in years, I feel truly happy and supported, and I won't let anyone disrupt the peace I've worked so hard to achieve. My fiancé, Michael, has shown me what it means to be loved unconditionally, and my circle of friends has become my steadfast anchor. They were there during the dark days when I doubted myself and my worth, helping me see that I deserved better. This sense of security, built through years of healing and self-discovery, is something I refuse to compromise, no matter who is asking for a place in my life. My parents' sudden interest feels less like reconciliation and more like a convenience for them, a chance to be part of my new, thriving chapter without taking responsibility for their absence during my struggle. It's not an easy realization, but it reinforces the boundaries I've set. I've learned that my worth isn't tied to who approves of me, and it certainly isn't conditional on their belated support. For so long, I lived yearning for their validation, but now I see that my happiness doesn't depend on their presence. Michael and I are building a future filled with trust, laughter, and shared dreams. He knows everything about my past, the betrayal, the heartbreak, and the family estrangement, and has stood by me every step of the way. He has taught me that love is about showing up, even when it's hard, and that's the kind of relationship I'm investing in. I refuse to jeopardize this foundation of joy and safety for people who turned their backs on me when I needed them most. Still, I can't completely shut the door on the idea of forgiveness. Time and growth have taught me that holding on to anger only hurts me. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean welcoming people back into my life without accountability. If my parents truly want to rebuild a relationship, it will take time, effort, and honesty on their part. Until then, I'm protecting the life I've worked so hard to create, a life filled with love and people who genuinely care about me. At the end of the day, I'm proud of how far I've come. The pain of the past no longer defines me, and I refuse to let old wounds reopen. My life now is a testament to resilience and the power of choosing yourself. As I look forward to my future with Michael, I'm reminded that true happiness comes from within, and from the people who choose to stand by you, no matter what. It's the quiet reassurance of knowing you're loved for who you are, not for what you can offer or how well you fit someone else's narrative. Michael has been that unwavering support, reminding me every day that I am enough. The people who stood by me, through the loneliness and heartbreak, are the ones who truly matter. They are the foundation upon which I've rebuilt my life, stronger and more resilient than before. Looking back, I see how far I've come from the person who felt broken and abandoned. It wasn't easy to let go of the pain, but with time, I learned that I couldn't move forward while carrying the weight of anger and longing for approval. I've come to value the peace of knowing my life is now filled with relationships that are mutual, healthy, and rooted in love and respect. It's a lesson I wouldn't have chosen to learn the hard way, but it has shaped me into someone who treasures authenticity above all else. The path forward isn't entirely free of uncertainty. My parents' desire to reconnect has forced me to confront emotions I thought I had buried. A part of me aches for the family bond one always dreamed of having, but I also know that reopening old wounds without accountability could threaten the happiness I've built. For now, my priority is preserving the life Michael and I are creating, a life of joy, love, and unwavering support. Every day, I make a choice to prioritize the relationships that lift me up and to keep those who didn't, at arm's length. Forgiveness, if it comes, will be on my terms, not as an obligation but as a gift I give myself when I'm ready. What I do know is that I will no longer allow anyone, family or otherwise, to disrupt my peace or undermine the happiness I've worked so hard to achieve. As I prepare to walk into a new chapter with Michael, I carry with me a sense of pride in the person I've become. Life's challenges have taught me to value my own worth and to surround myself with people who choose to stand by me, unwavering in their love and support. That, more than anything, is the foundation of my happiness, and it's a foundation I'll protect fiercely. I've come to understand that true strength lies in knowing your worth and refusing to compromise it for anyone, even those who once held a place of significance in your life. The peace I've cultivated and the love I've found with Michael are priceless, and I won't let unresolved guilt, misplaced loyalty, or societal expectations threaten what I've built. Protecting my happiness doesn't mean shutting people out, but it does mean setting boundaries that reflect the value I place on myself and my well-being. This journey has taught me that happiness is less about external circumstances and more about internal alignment. It's about creating a life that reflects who you are and the values you hold dear. Michael and I have worked hard to build a partnership rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and love, and I cherish every moment we share. The relationships that truly matter are the ones where effort and care flow both ways, untainted by manipulation or abandonment. For those who've hurt me, my door isn't locked, but it isn't wide open either. If my parents genuinely want to reconcile, it will require more than words. It will require honesty, accountability, and a willingness to repair the trust they broke. I'm open to the possibility, but I'm no longer the person who bends over backward to accommodate people at the expense of my own peace. Forgiveness, when it comes, will be for my sake, not theirs, and only if it doesn't jeopardize the life I've worked so hard to create. My story is a testament to resilience, healing, and the transformative power of self-love. The heartbreak I once endured taught me lessons I couldn't have learned otherwise, lessons about strength, boundaries, and the importance of surrounding myself with people who genuinely care. That growth has paved the way for a future filled with joy, stability, and love, and I will fiercely protect the beautiful life I've built with Michael. As I stand on the threshold of this new chapter, I feel gratitude for the journey that brought me here, even with its pain and struggles. I've emerged stronger, wiser, and more certain of what I deserve. With Michael by my side and the peace I've created, I'm ready to embrace the future, knowing that my happiness is mine to nurture and protect. And that, more than anything, is a life worth fighting for. It's a life built on hard-won lessons, deep personal growth, and an unshakable commitment to choosing love, love for myself and love from those who truly value me. For years, I fought to find a way back to myself, to reclaim my worth after betrayal and rejection. Every step along that path was a reminder that happiness isn't something others can grant or take away, it's something I've cultivated within myself, strengthened by the relationships I've chosen to nurture. Michael represents all the things I once thought were out of reach, a partner who loves me wholeheartedly, a future that feels secure, and a relationship founded on respect and trust. He has shown me that love doesn't have to hurt, that it's possible to feel cherished without conditions or doubts. Together, we're building a life where joy and support are constants, not fleeting moments. It's this life, this sense of belonging and peace, that I'll protect with everything I have. The past, with all its pain, remains a part of my story, but it no longer defines me. I've let go of the anger that once weighed me down, not to forget or excuse what happened, but to free myself from its hold. Forgiveness, when it comes, will be on my terms, slow, deliberate, and only if it aligns with the peace I've found. My parents may have their reasons for wanting to reconnect, but the trust they broke cannot be rebuilt overnight. If they're willing to meet me halfway with honesty and genuine effort, I'll consider opening that door. Until then, my focus is on the life I'm creating now. I've learned that true strength comes not from enduring pain for the sake of others but from recognizing when to walk away and prioritize your well-being. Boundaries are not walls, they are acts of self-respect that define who I am and what I will accept. They have allowed me to protect my happiness and foster relationships that bring out the best in me. Those boundaries ensure that the life I've fought for remains unshaken by past betrayals or fleeting obligations. As I prepare to start this new chapter with Michael, I carry with me not just hope but a profound sense of gratitude for the strength I've discovered, the love I've found, and the peace I've built. This life, built on resilience and authenticity, is worth every moment of struggle it took to get here. It's a life I'll continue to cherish, nurture, and fight for, every single day.